In this video, I'm going to show you how I was able to get my clients over $100,000 in business funding. Right here, I was able to help a client get $100,000 from Navy Federal. And I was able to secure $75,000 from Chase on the business side, thanks to my Chase rep. And these are just some honorable mentions. So I want to show you how you can actually do all of this yourself so you can get the funding you need to get everything rolling with your business. So go ahead, go get your pen and paper. I promise you I'll wait right here, and make sure you stay to the end so you don't miss any actual information, all right? And without further ado, let's dive in. Before we get started, ladies and gents, I just want to ask if you don't mind hitting that like button for me, as it helps my channel out a ton. I truly appreciate all your help. I'm trying to help every business owner out there get the business funding that they need so they can jumpstart their business. Now, enough of me rambling. Let's actually get into this business funding. Now, to actually access all of these funds, you are going to need no blemishes on your credit report, meaning no negatives, no derogatories or anything like that. Little to no inquiries on each bureau, aka TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You're going to need at least a 700 or above, utilization below 10%, and have at least 2 credit cards with a limit of $3,000 on the personal side, okay? If you have these, then you are in the front runners to get funding on the business side, okay? And this is just me scratching the surface. So if you have all these, then you are going to be good to go. Are there outliers that can still get stuff even by having some of these things on their credit report or having the opposite? Yes. But I'm just telling you what you're actually going to need so you have a better percent chance of getting all this funding, all right? Please understand this. Now let's get into everything else. So with the first bank that I actually want to go over right now is Wells Fargo. We all drove past every Wells Fargo. It's one of the biggest banks in America right now, opposed to Chase. And they have some really good credit products on the business side, especially starting with their business credit card. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever actually talked about how solid Wells Fargo's business banking products are. So let's go ahead and get into some of the data points. They are going to pull your Experian for the most part, even when it comes to the business credit cards, okay? And again, you are going to need a 700 or higher to get approved. This isn't a credit union that you're applying for, people. These are a big bank, so you want to make sure you have a 700 or above, okay? Now, with their business credit card or their Signified credit card, it's a 0 annual fee, which is awesome, and it has a 0 APR for the first 12 months. So if you are a new LLC or a new business owner, then you can utilize this by accessing at least $5,000 to $20,000 or even more as a starting credit limit, okay? And of course, we all know when you first start everything, all of your heaviest purchases are going to be in the beginning, whether it's getting equipment or anything of that nature. So why not utilize this credit card with 0 APR, have a very good credit limit, and then start the year off right by getting everything started with no interest? Come on now. Not only are the business credit cards really useful, but when you open a business bank account with them, you will be able to access their business line of credit. And a lot of other places that have business lines of credit, it's kind of hard to access them due to how many leaps and hoops and bounds that you have to go through to get them. But with Wells Fargo, they actually have some for business owners who have been in business for 2 years or lower. And it even tells you the requirements for obtaining the business line of credit. So if you're in this realm when it comes to getting these business lines of credit, please access and utilize them. And then if you want to take it a step further, actually call and talk to a lender that actually works with Wells Fargo, even going into a branch, to make sure that you will actually get approved, okay? I promise you, it really works. Now, the next bank that we have on the list right now is M&T Bank. And as you can see right here, I was able to help a client get approved for $35,000 on the business side. Now, depending on where you're located, aka for the data points, they will pull either your Experian or your Equifax. Now, in my experience, when I was helping clients, they did pull their Experian. But please do your research. Fact check me on that, okay, people? You don't know. Everybody in every M&T bank might not be the same, so please do your homework. So call the bank in your area and ask where they pull from. I promise you they will tell you. And if they don't, hang up on them and call them right back and ask to speak to a different person. It's because it's really not a big secret. You just want to make sure that you're set up for success. and you want to make sure you don't waste your time as well as their time, okay? So please just get the information, get that data point, and you'll be good to go from there. Now, I did tell the client to do some internal point boosting with M&T before we actually pulled the trigger, and I want you to do the same exact thing. Now, let's go over the step by step. First thing I need you to do is, of course, open a business checking account with them, okay? That's the first thing I want you to do. Next, I want you to actually fund the account with as much money as you can, ladies and gents. If you could do over $1,000, that would be great. But if you can't, I totally get it. Just fund it with as much as you can. I don't care if you have to start with $50 and you have to continuously put money in there every week, every 2 weeks, or anything like that. But just keep building that money in that actual account, okay? And with said funds that are sitting in that account, I want you to let it season in that account for 30 to 90 days, allowing the bank to lend out 10 times more the amount that you have in that bank account to everybody else that applies for their banking products, okay? Why do they do this? Because of course they don't actually keep your money in your bank account, just allow it to sit. They're actually trying to make money off of the money that you have in there, potentially helping them utilize and access more funds, aka fractional reserve banking. So basically you're scratching their back, they will scratch your back when you start applying for something. Now, speaking of applying, now when you start applying for that business credit card, after those 30 to 90 days, however long you want to do it, then you can actually check your results and see if the fractional reserve actually helped you in the case. Now, disclaimer, you might still get a credit limit lower than $10,000. It's okay, people. Utilize the credit card and pay it off for a few months and then ask for a credit limit increase. That's what I want you to do. I'm telling you to literally follow these steps to the T and you should be able to get what you need, okay? Even if you have to utilize it for about 3 months or anything like that, actually try to max it out or try to get it close to the max out and then just pay everything off, okay? That's all you have to do. And then just rinse and repeat and then ask for a credit limit increase, because they will basically show you that maybe they made the wrong decision and they actually need to give you a higher limit. Bam. Also, M&T Bank also has business lines of credit that you can also access, but you do need a little more documentation and revenue just for theirs. And this is coming from just me speaking to one rep. So you might want to look to see if you're actually qualified for it, but I just want to throw that out there, just, you know what I'm saying, just FYI. All right. And the last one that I want to give you before we get out of here is Key Bank. And I think I've actually talked about them before in another video, but it doesn't even matter, because you need to be reminded more than you need to be taught, okay? Because I really need you to utilize Key Bank, ladies and gents. I'm telling you right now, they are very big on relationship banking. And if you do the same thing that I told you to do with M&T Bank, aka fractional reserve banking, then you're going to get way more than what you expect. All right, so let's go ahead and give the actual data points and the step-by-step of what you actually need to do to get what you need. So of course, the first thing I need you to do with them, you do have to open a business checking account with them before you get started, which is fine, no problem. And I'm telling you now, they are actively doing no doc business credit cards and lines of credit at this moment. Now, when I did this with a client, they did pull their Equifax. I'm not sure if that's everywhere, but again, just like I say in everything, fact check me, see what they're doing on your side, okay? Please. And the dope thing is, when they pull your Equifax, you're allowed to double dip that same inquiry, meaning that you could be able to use that same inquiry for the rest of that month or 30 days. So that means you'll be able to get the business cash rewards card, which has a 0 APR for the first 6 months. And then once you get approved for that one, you can go and get another business credit card with 0 APR for 6 months, okay? So that means you can get 2 for the price of 1 inquiry and have no interest for 6 months with both credit cards. Now, hold your horses before you start jumping for joy and trying to do everything. Let me go ahead and say it again. Disclaimer: Key Bank is very sensitive when it comes to inquiries and accounts. So make sure that you try to apply for them first on this list before you try to apply for anything else. Or if you've been applying for stuff, kind of let yourself sit for a second before you actually apply for them, because I don't want you to get denied just because you have brand new accounts on your credit report. So just be on the lookout for that and just be careful, okay? Now, if you feel that this is still kind of rough and you really want to speed up the process and you're like, look, Hausu, you gave some awesome stuff, great information, but I really just don't want to mess this up. I really want someone to actually either do it for me or just have a one-on-one with me to actually show me how I can actually do this and kind of hold my hand and walk me through the process, then what I want you to do is click the link below and sign up for the How to Credit Funding Program, okay? Where I will help you accelerate the process for you and relieve you of the headaches of, did I do this right? Or why did I not get what I need, or anything of that nature? Again, you still have to have the basic requirements that I gave you in the beginning of the video to actually get started. It's non-negotiable, but yes, I will be able to help you frontline everything due to the reps that I have, and I'm able to help people get higher amounts of credit funding than what they normally would do by themselves. Or even if you have a few negatives on your credit report and you're trying to get to the point where you want to get funding, then again, sign up for the How to Credit Restoration Program, where I'm helping people delete their negatives off their credit report. Both are free 15-minute consultations, but I still want to show you that you can still do this yourself, but you still have the option of having somebody speed up the process for you. Overall, if you utilize this information I gave you, you will be able to rack up and credit stack and do whatever you can to get $100,000 or more in business funding. I'm telling you, it's not as hard as you think. You just have to make sure you have the correct strategy. Don't let anyone lie to you and tell you that you have to do something different, or you can have a 500 credit score, or it doesn't matter about late pay. Just don't listen to them. They're just trying to take your money or whatever, all right? You can definitely do this yourself. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you guys have any of these actual banks in your back pocket, or have you been utilizing these business credit cards or anything? Let me know in the comment section. I want to appreciate you guys for stopping by. Now go get that $100,000, all right? And until next time, ladies and gents.